Earlier this year, I sold everything I've ever had in my entire life. I sold every Christmas present, every birthday present, everything I'd ever bought or been gifted, all of it. My childhood piano, my Xbox games, my coin collection, my ski equipment, everything. And it was sort of interesting. Me and my brother had, been dreaming of going on this trip to Thailand for a long time. We had never really left the country for any extended period of time. We'd never really seen the world the way that I've always craved to. And although I had just turned 18, it was like I really wanted an experience like that. We had been talking about it for so long, and suddenly it seemed like all the stars aligned, except that I didn't quite have enough money. I hadn't been working that long. I had just been doing a part time job, and I had maybe a couple $1,000s saved up. And I realized that if I really wanted to make this experience the best it could possibly be, I needed to, create some more money. I needed to liquidate everything so that I would be able to make the most of this. We didn't just want to go on a trip there. We wanted to stay for as long as we could, like 4 or 5 months or something. And I realized that I could have enough if I sold everything I'd ever owned in my life. So me and my brother, we both had kind of the same idea, and we set up a garage sale. We posted everything we owned on KSL and Facebook Marketplace and all these things, and we just went around like, piecemeal, selling everything we owned. I would go to coin shops and sell off my coin collection, and make listings all day for my different game consoles and things. And certain things I was sort of attached to. I had some memories associated with. There was some amount of sentimental value these things had. I sold my childhood piano, something that I'd cared about for a long time. I had learned how to play piano. I sold a lot of my art supplies. I sold things that kind of hurt to let go of. But through all this, I realized that we don't really own anything. Things aren't really ours to have and keep forever. They're sort of, ephemeral. They're always moving around, exchanging hands. I realized that this piano, was just on Amazon somewhere. I mean, I knew it, but I'd never really thought about it like that. Like, I set up a price and someone said, I'll give you $50 less than you're asking for because that's what it's selling for on Amazon. And I found the exact listing they were talking about, and I was like, wow, my exact piano, that I've had for so long is just $350 on Amazon or whatever. And I was like, why should I have to feel a sentimental attachment to this when it's really just on the other side of like one paycheck at a job? And when I started to think about that, it made me feel much differently about all of these things I was getting rid of. Like I was selling my coin collection, and this coin collection is something I really, really cared about. It was something that every year for my birthday I would get a couple extra coins to add to my collection. I would ask for coins for Christmas and silver. With all my money from work, I would invest in this coin collection. And it wasn't just the value of that collection. It wasn't about investing for me. It was just something I genuinely really cared about. And it kind of hurt to bring it to a coin shop and get absolutely lowballed. And knowing that I got lowballed, but having to take it anyway because I just needed the money. I needed to liquidate it fast. But I started to realize that, like, I could get those same coins back. They weren't special. They weren't really rare. If I had the money, I could show up to a coin shop and get it all back. Maybe it'd be a little bit more than when I, had it before, what I sold it for, but I could get it back. It seems like money really is what it all comes down to. Is none of these things were handmade. None of these things were particular to me. Maybe I felt a certain way. I had some sentimentality towards selling my Xbox, but I realized it wasn't this specific Xbox. It wasn't just that this Xbox is special or different than any other Xbox in the whole world. It was more so just the memories of playing on this Xbox. Those times in my life that I feel like I'm somehow letting go of if I remove the aspect I have of those memories from my life. Every time I think about a certain period of my life, it's almost like certain things I own would pop into my head. I would be like thinking about my childhood playing Call of the Dead, when I had first gotten in, being freaked out by George Romero chasing me around, and I would realize, that, controller I used to have, that red controller I sold, is still somewhere buried in my subconscious, and I sold that in the past, and it was really hard for me to let go of. I sold my Xbox in the past, and it was hard to let go of that, but I could find that same red controller. I could find, the same model of Xbox, but it wouldn't quite be the same. And I realized that really, you're not sentimental towards anything you own. You're just having this nostalgic feeling imprinted on everything around you. It's like part of us just wants to go back. Part of us is tired of having to move forward and let go of the past. Part of us wants to just be in that past, be experiencing those beautiful moments again. And it feels like by selling the things that are associated with those memories, selling those things from your memories, is like severing your connection with that in a way. It's like a lot of my clothes I sold, and that was in a way almost the hardest thing to let go of, because I would think about entire periods of my life where I might have worn this specific shirt a lot. For whatever reason, I just really liked that shirt at that period of my life. And I'm kind of a smaller guy. I haven't really had to change shirts for a long time. I've been wearing the same wardrobe since probably 8th grade. And some of these clothes are very sentimental to me. I would think about, oh, this is the shirt I wore on that date one time. This is the shirt I wore to my middle school graduation or my high school graduation. Like these shirts, these pants, these windbreakers, these jackets mean a lot to me. And these aren't so simple to just go and pay money and replace. But I realized that I was almost being held back by that energy of wanting to just keep everything the same way it had been. Sometimes the world kind of forces your hand. Like we took what we wanted and we sold the rest, and all that I had left in the entire world, the things I cared so much about I wouldn't let go of, I brought in my suitcase with me to Thailand. Things like certain necklaces I had, these like kind of like crystal, gold chained, plated necklaces my brother had made me, or like different things that I just really, really cared about. They were very sentimental to me. And it's funny, it's almost like it was designed to just push me outside of my comfort zone, to make me less able to hold on to the past. But we lost all of our luggage when we were in between flights, and we never got it back. We reached out to the airport, we did everything we could, we filed an insurance claim, but we never got our stuff back. And so now, returning home, it feels like I don't own anything. I don't own anything I had in the past. I have a little bit of debt, but I have this experience. I have these memories. I have this journey I've went on. It was like, in a way, I had to sacrifice one thing. I had to sacrifice my past, that sentimentality, those possessions, everything I had been up until that point, for this crazy experience, pushing me so far outside of my comfort zone, traveling the world. And then I come back, and it's like I'm in the same place, but I'm a different person. A man never steps in the same river twice, as a wise man once said. And it was like all of those things that were keeping me in the past aren't here anymore. I'm the person I was in Thailand. I'm the person I was in Vietnam. I'm not the person I was in last time. But I'm here again in this same place, and it's strange, I don't have as much sentimentality towards this location as I thought I might, because it felt like I let go of all sentimentality the moment I decided to sell everything I owned. And although I wouldn't recommend this for most people, I think it's worth re-examining what your possessions mean to you. Are they holding you back? Are they a deterrence to your highest potential? Are they a burden to you wanting to make massive change in your life? Are they something that feels comfortable and nostalgic and keeps you living in the past? Or are they genuinely just something that means nothing to you, that you're okay with, and it's just about the functionality? That's something I never had thought about. And I realized you can just buy it all back. So you might as well sell everything you have if it comes to that, if it makes the most sense. And with that, I'll leave you guys off.